Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get you truly well-informed. Today, we're diving into, well, a pretty high-stakes political situation that's been playing out in Kenya's Siaya County. It kicked off with a prominent governor, a letter that went viral, and this kind of mystery absence that has everyone talking.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of people buzzing.
So for this deep dive, we've gathered, a whole stack of sources, news articles, legal docs, official statements, the works. We're going to try and unpack this really fascinating situation involving Governor James Orengo, this fake resignation letter, and what looks like a deepening governance crisis. Our mission really is to sift through it all, debunk any misinformation, and help you understand the crucial legal and political side of things, like what actually happens when a leader is, well, out of sight and there's seemingly no delegation.
Right. It raises some fundamental questions.
Exactly. By the end, you're going to get a much clearer picture of how Kenyan County governance should work and what the fallout is when it doesn't seem to be.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with the spark, the thing that really set this off. This viral resignation letter, supposedly from Governor Orengo. It was dated August 4th, 2025, popped up online, and claimed he was resigning immediately. Cited personal health challenges?
Yeah, I saw that doing the rounds.
It looked pretty official, too, right? Addressed to the county assembly speaker, copied to loads of officials, even promised a smooth transition.
Well, this is where it gets really interesting, especially if you're looking at it from an information literacy angle. Because that letter, it was immediately suspicious. Our sources point out some, let's say, glaring red flags.
Like what specifically?
Okay, first off, basic stuff. Typographical errors. I think governor itself was misspelled at one point.
Seriously, in an official resignation?
Yeah, and the official reference numbers on it, they were inconsistent. Plus, and this is key, it didn't come through any official county communication channels. These aren't just, minor slip-ups. For a document this important, they were basically flashing warning signs. Huge red flags.
Right. So not subtle then. And thankfully, it seems it was shut down pretty quickly.
Oh, very quickly. Philip Etail, the ODM party spokesperson, he came out publicly, just flat out called it fake, told everyone to ignore it, focus on real issues.
Okay.
And then the Siaya County Speaker, George Okode, he also made an official statement. Confirmed Orengo was still governor, hadn't received any resignation letter, nothing like that. Said the governor was just out of the country on a private trip. And Okode made a really crucial point, one that's central to our whole discussion today. Absence does not equal vacancy.
Absence does not equal vacancy. That really cuts to the heart of it, doesn't it?
It really does. And this whole fake letter thing, while a hoax, it highlights something bigger. The serious risk of political misinformation. The weaponization of fake documents in public discourse.
The destabilization tactic, perhaps?
Could be. The sources suggest that, given the timing Orengo's away, there's already tension with his deputy. Yeah, it could absolutely be an attempt to destabilize the county executive.
It really makes you wonder why someone would want to do that, undermine the whole county leadership.
Exactly. It definitely underscores how important it is for the public and for officials to verify information, especially leadership statements.
Absolutely. So the immediate threat, the fake resignation, that was dealt with. But it kind of inadvertently threw a spotlight onto a much deeper issue, didn't it?
Precisely.
This whole legal balancing act between a governor simply being absent versus the office actually being vacant, and the absolutely critical role of delegation.
That's the core issue now.
And the Constitution itself, the Kenyan Constitution, it's incredibly specific about when a governor's office is technically vacant, right? It's not as simple as just not being around.
Not at all. It's very clearly laid out in Article 182. A vacancy only occurs under specific defined circumstances.
Which are?
Okay, so if the governor unfortunately passes away, or if they resign, and this is crucial in writing to the speaker, or if they're convicted of a serious crime, declared medically incapacitated, or removed through impeachment.
So a pretty high bar.
A very high bar. And the key thing to grasp here, the really big takeaway, is that just being absent for a long time is not automatically grounds for vacancy, unless, of course, that absence leads to a situation where they are proven or declared incapacitated according to the procedures.
That makes sense. It prevents chaos, ensures some stability.
Exactly. It's designed to stop political turmoil and keep things running. Even if a leader is temporarily unavailable, it prioritizes stability over just speculation.
And to maintain that stability during an absence, the law talks about delegation, right?
Critically important. Article 179, Section 4 Basically says the governor and deputy governor are the county's top executives.
Okay.
Then the County Governments Act, Section 30, subsection 2, gets very specific. It mandates the governor assign responsibilities to every member of their executive committee. And importantly, they have to do this by a decision in writing.
Ah, in writing. That seems key.
Absolutely. So if a governor's on leave, or just absent for any reason, they must formally delegate responsibilities to their deputy and other CECs. It's not optional.
Which brings us to the deputy governor's role in all this. What exactly does the law say they can do?
Well, Section 32 says the deputy governor, or DG, shall deputize for the governor in the execution of the governor's functions. Pretty straightforward. Sounds like they step in.
But there's a catch.
There's a big catch.
Yeah.
Our sources really emphasize this, that power to deputize only kicks in when the governor is absent and has formally assigned responsibilities.
In writing. There it is again.
Exactly. If the DG doesn't have that written delegation from the governor, then legally they cannot execute full gubernatorial duties. They can't just assume the powers. It's a specific legal requirement.
In connecting this back to Siaya, this seems to be the crux of the current problem.
It really does.
Yeah.
Deputy Governor Oduol has gone on record saying he has basically no access, no official communications, can't attend meetings, no budget access.
Wow.
And crucially, our sources confirm that as far as anyone can tell, no evidence of written delegation from Orengo has been made public. Nothing.
So this creates what the sources are calling a legal and governance vacuum.
Precisely. And you have to think, what does that actually mean for the people living in Siaya? This isn't just political maneuvering.
Right. It has real-world consequences.
Absolutely. Without that proper lawful delegation, there's essentially no lawful authority to approve really critical things. Think about the county budget, for example. Huge decisions.
So things just stop.
Pretty much. It leads to stalled government operations. Services get delayed, projects grind to a halt. Imagine waiting for decisions on healthcare funding or road repairs or school resources, and nothing happens because there's no one legally empowered to sign off.
That sounds incredibly frustrating for residents. Paralyzing almost.
It is. And it also opens the door for legal action. Citizens could file petitions challenging the lack of action, arguing there's been a dereliction of duty, or even constitutional violations.
Okay, so the stakes are really high. Let's maybe walk through the timeline here. How did we get to this point? Governor Orengo's absence didn't happen overnight.
No, it built up over time, and so did the concerns.
Right. So back in May 2025, things started looking a bit unusual. He missed MP Charles Ware's burial on May 9th. That apparently fueled some speculation about a political rift with ODM leader Raila Odinga.
That was one of the early signs people pointed to.
Then, just days later, that State House meeting with President Ruto, scheduled for May 13th, 14th, it got postponed. Reports said Orengo was abroad. Some mention a possible medical trip to India.
Yes, the abroad reports started circulating then.
But then, fast forward to May 29th, he comes back to Siaya. Big welcome, crowds turn out, seems like business as usual, perhaps.
A very public return, yes.
And early June, he's active again. Meetings in Nairobi saw the Treasury CS John Mbadi on the 4th, led a delegation to State House on the 5th.
Looked like he was back in the swing of things.
His last confirmed public appearance, though, seems to be June 9th, and then again on June 23rd. He was before the Senate's Packet Committee answering audit questions.
Right, dealing with official oversight matters.
But after June 23rd, silence, nothing. Late June, July, into August, no public appearances related to county work. His social media might be active with, personal updates, but the key thing is no official county engagements have been reported.
And that prolonged silence, that's where the governance crisis really started to bite, especially in July. It wasn't just politicians noticing. Ordinary residents got so worried they actually petitioned the county assembly.
What were they petitioning about?
About the delayed 2025-26 budget, that critical document we mentioned, and this alleged leadership vacuum. They specifically cited the absence of both Governor Orengo and Deputy Governor Oduol for over a month.
Both of them. So Oduol wasn't stepping in.
Well, that's where it gets complicated. Oduol himself claimed he was being actively sidelined, no access to resources, couldn't attend meetings. He basically said he had withdrawn from active duty because he couldn't function.
So the governor's away, possibly without delegating, and the deputy feels shut out.
Exactly. And the bigger picture impact. It's a cascade of delayed or stalled activities. Key appointments don't get made. Other functions needing the governor's specific sign-off just hang in limbo.
And politically, This must be adding fuel to the fire within the ODM party.
Definitely. Sources say Orengo's absence has intensified factional divides, particularly between his camp and those perhaps more closely aligned with Raila Odinga.
Have other figures spoken out?
Oh, yes. Public figures, including Senator Oburu Oginga, who is Raila's brother, and Deputy Governor Oduol himself, have become increasingly critical of Orengo's leadership style and, pointedly, his absence. The pressure is mounting internally and externally.
Okay, so the situation is clearly stuck. What can actually be done? What are the legal avenues or, solutions when county governance just stalls like this?
Well, there are mechanisms. The county assembly itself has powers.
Like what? Can they force the issue?
They can certainly try. Under their standing orders, they can summon county officials, potentially even the governor, though that might be difficult if he's abroad. They can launch oversight investigations into the situation or even pass a symbolic motion of censure to express disapproval.
And what about citizens? You mentioned they petition. Do they have other options?
Yes, a powerful one. Judicial review. Citizens or civil society groups can go to the High Court. They can file petitions asking the court to compel performance of duty, basically. Order the officials to do their jobs or even seek a declaration that an office has become inactive due to the absence and lack of delegation.
Could they invoke specific constitutional articles?
Absolutely. They might invoke Article 258, which allows anyone to institute court proceedings claiming the Constitution has been contravened or is threatened. Inaction or breach of the County Governments Act could fall under that.
And the Senate. Does the national level have a role?
It does. The Senate, under Article 96, has a specific mandate to protect county interests. Remember, the Senate Pecking Committee already summoned Orengo back in June.
Right.
So continued absence, especially if it's paralyzing the county, could definitely trigger a deeper Senate probe into the whole affair. They have oversight responsibilities.
Has anything like this happened before in Kenya? Are there precedents?
Oh, yes. This isn't entirely new ground. Our sources point to a few relevant cases. The most prominent might be Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko back in 2019.
Ah, I remember that. He was facing charges, wasn't he?
Exactly. His absence due to court restrictions led to prolonged dysfunction in Nairobi. It actually took a court ruling to clarify that formal, written delegation to his deputy was absolutely mandatory to keep things running.
So a court had to step in and say, delegate.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
And there have been other disputes, like in Machakos and Kiambu counties, where governors basically refused to work with their deputies. In those cases, courts consistently emphasize that the county executive, the governor and deputy, is a joint office. It's not, as one source put it, a personal fiefdom.
A joint office. That's a key legal principle.
Very much so.
Now, aside from the legal side, what about the politics? What are the risks for Governor Orengo himself here?
Significant political risks. For starters, his own party, ODM, has internal rules. Those rules apparently require active participation in governance by elected leaders. You can't just disappear indefinitely.
So we could face consequences from the party.
It's possible. Continued absence, especially if it's causing this level of disruption and negative attention, could trigger disciplinary measures or political marginalization. You have the public watching, the county assembly raising concerns, the Senate potentially investigating. The pressure builds.
So given all this, what are the clear recommendations coming out of the sources for how to comply with the law and we'll fix this?
The recommendations are quite consistent, really. First and foremost, formal written delegation to Deputy Governor Oduol. That's needed immediately to ensure legal continuity of county functions.
Okay, step 1, delegate properly.
Step 2, transparency. There should be public disclosure of health or sabbatical status, whatever the reason for the absence is. This avoids the kind of constitutional ambiguity and speculation we're seeing. Clarity is needed.
Makes sense. What else?
Communication. Regular communication with the county assembly and with the citizens. This aligns with Article 35 of the Constitution, the right to information. People have a right to know what's happening with their county government.
And the bottom line, if the absence is due to genuine incapacity,
then the constitutional mechanisms have to be followed. If the governor is truly incapacitated, temporarily or permanently, then Articles 182 and 183, which deal with removal and succession, need to be initiated. The county can't just stay in this legal limbo indefinitely. There are procedures for a reason.
Right. So to sort of bring this all together, It's quite a story. You've seen how one single fake letter, a piece of misinformation, actually spiraled. It ended up exposing this genuine governance crisis. It really laid bare these complexities around, legal delegation versus just being away, and the profound impact it has on citizens when critical county functions just stall.
It really did. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. Think about how vital it actually is for
Mhm.
citizens to understand these legal frameworks that govern them. It's not just about holding leaders accountable, although that's crucial. It's also about actively participating, in a way, in ensuring public services can actually continue, even when there's political turmoil or leaders face personal challenges. What really stands out to you about this delicate balance between a leader's personal life, their privacy perhaps, and their undeniable public responsibilities, especially when those constitutional duties are hanging in the balance? It's a tough line to draw.